Hi, I'm Jim Ewing for ProVision Solutions Inc. and ProVision Mentorship. For some time now, we've been collecting stories from those who have experienced mentorship, either as a mentor or as a protege. And we've heard some great experiences. But we've also uncovered some great stories that mentor. In this series, we want to share some of those with you. Listen to these stories and learn from them. Then tell us your experience on our blog, ProVision Mentorship.
My experience with mentorship goes back probably 20 or 30 years with various people in my life. And this was not a professional or identified mentorship. It was a relationship that I had with some elders in the same line of work that I was in, which was teaching. And what happened was that they became the elder or the grandfathers that I never had. And what they do is provide perspective. And I think the most important thing that they allowed me to do was to trust my own inner experience, to really zero in on the external world, or there's authority outside, but we also have our own voice. And the process of being mentored was the process of discovering my own voice. All cultures tell stories. Okay, stories are endemic to what it is to be a human being. Stories are the oldest form of communication. They predate the written word. Storytelling is present before even cave drawings. People were communicating by voice. And so we can have stories that educate, they can inspire, they can entertain. In the sense of stories, I talk about wisdom stories. Wisdom stories. Sometimes called Sophia stories. Sophia, the goddess of wisdom. Philia Sophia, the love of wisdom. So Sophia stories, wisdom stories. At least in the Greek understanding of stories. In fact, this first story comes from Aesop. Aesop told a lot of stories, a Greek slave. Whether he made them up or whether he just was a spokesperson from the culture is debatable. He talked a lot about animals being mentors, being storytellers. In this case, it's a different kind of story. And this story, 2,500 years old, still has resonance and still speaks to us today. Once upon a time, there was a father who had 5 sons who were constantly bickering and fighting. This caused no end of heartache and sleepless nights for the father. So one day he decided to call his sons into the room. When they entered the room, he told the oldest son, "Fetch me a bundle of sticks." The young man quickly came back with a bundle of sticks. "Break it." The young man attempted to break the bundle of sticks over his leg. The only result was a sore leg. Then, one after another, each brother followed the same command, with the same result. No one was able to break the bundle of sticks. Then the father quickly undid the bundle and gave each son a stick. "Break it." The task was accomplished with ease. Then the father called his sons closer together. My boys, if you stand firm, support one another, and speak with one voice, you will be as strong as this bundle of sticks. If, however, you allow greed and competition and jealousy to come between you, you will certainly be broken as easily as one of these sticks." The moral of the story. Well, morals of the story can be from any number of perspectives, but we do know that the dynamics that separated and polarized and fragmented businesses and families 2,500 years ago are the same things that separate and fragment people today. Greed, competition, and jealousy. Now that story, 2,500 years ago, is rather interesting. It's called an archetypal story. Archetypal because it overarches. And this story develops in other cultures who had no contact with each other. And yet they emerge from the cultures. This culture arrives in North America with the Six Nations Confederacy in Ontario and upstate New York, where we have the Six Nations, the Seneca, Oneida, Cayuga, the Mohawk, Onondaga, and Tuscarora. And the Grand Chief stands up with a bundle of arrows and says, almost identical to Aesop's story, "If we stand firm as a people, and we are strong, we will persist. But," and he gives an arrow to each of the Grand Chiefs. the chiefs gathered around in the Six Nations. If we allow competition to come between us and we allowed outside influences to take over, we will be broken. And he breaks the arrow. So whether it's Greece, whether it's North America, whether it's 2,500 years ago, whether it's 2011, the things that separate people then, the things that separate people now. And it's to take a look at the human condition. The human condition isn't just greed, competition, and jealousy. It's love, forgiveness, understanding, and all those kind of things. That's the human condition too. But that's coming from that tradition.
Now it's your turn to share your experience with mentorship. Visit our blog, Provision Mentorship. And if your organization is looking at developing a mentoring program, why not get in touch with us? We'd be delighted to hear from you and point you to information and resources that will help you succeed in your mentorship journey. For Provision Solutions Inc. and Provision Mentorship, I'm Jim Ewing, wishing you the best on your mentorship journey.